Halloween murders in Napa. Have you heard about this? It was Halloween night in Napa Valley, California, wine country, when three beautiful, successful young women were passing out some candy to all the trick-or-treaters in the neighborhood. They had to work the next day, so they called it a night around 11:30. On 1 a.m., one of the roommates, Lauren Menanza, wakes up to what she thinks is glass break. She sits up, and then she hears the unthinkable. Her roommate screaming. Lauren gets up to see what is going on. She hears a man's footsteps running for the stairs, so she freaks and goes to the back door and finds herself trapped in the backyard, nowhere to go and frozen in fear. But the intruder leaves through the same window he came in and vanished in the night. Lauren was horrified to find her roommates in pools of blood and Leslie Mazzara dead and Adriane clinging on to her last breaths of life. Unfortunately, both girls would pass. Police were quick to find DNA evidence from blood and cigarette butts left by the killer, but no match to any of the long list of boyfriends or potential suspects. Adriane's best friend, Lily Prudhomme, was such a help. She was actually featured on Dateline, trying to find nothing more than the killer. But what Lily didn't know was that she was actually sleeping with the enemy. Lily's boyfriend had actually killed her best friend. It took almost a year to find this case out. But when police were closing in, they had DNA evidence. They knew he was a smoker. They put it out there, and Lily's boyfriend ended up coming forward. This is Eric Koppel. Eric shocked everyone involved when he walked right into the station to say that he killed his now wife's best friend and her roommate. Eric was jealous at the best friend's relationship and thought Adriane was pulling Lily away from him. Without Adriane, Eric would have Lily all to himself. Eric is now in prison for life. He was not on their radar, actually, and he was one of the only ones that got away without providing his DNA sample because he just failed to show up to his appointment, but police overlooked it because they weren't looking at him at all.
Right.
They didn't think that he had a motive to kill, but they were wrong. He did have a motive, and although he has never admitted to this motive, I am pretty sure what I am going to tell you is the reason. Lily and Adriane spoke all the time. I mean, all the time. They were probably like us, Gretchy. They talked at work because they worked together.
I could see Sean murdering me. If that's where you're going. I could totally see it. He gets really annoyed with how much we talk.
He's not going to murder you, I promise. They would talk on the phone a lot, and they had a lot of fun together. Earlier that year, in March of 2004, Lily broke her engagement off with Eric. They stayed together, but she wasn't sure if she wanted to commit her life to him. Eric knew Adriane probably was supporting Lily through this decision. Lily and Adriane were also just about to go on a trip to Australia together to visit, I think, Adriane's mom. And in Lily and Adriane's duo, Eric was kind of left out. Eric, being somewhat of a loner, antisocial kind of guy, his life revolved around Lily. She was his only light in a very dark self. So yes, he thought if he killed Adriane, he could have Lily all to himself, which in hindsight kind of did work, right? He got to marry her.
Yeah, he did get to marry her. But Sean, if you kill me, she'll just glob on to one of those new Texas boos she's hanging out with.
Oh, God.
Dab needs someone to chat with. She's chatty, okay?
I know, right? No,
I would be replaced.
No killing Gretchy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Leslie was just an innocent bystander, and he may have accidentally killed Leslie first or killed her to make sure there was no witnesses. I don't know why he killed her, but the anger was towards Adriane. I think Eric took his rage out on her, and Adriane was a fighter. I mean, she fought through that one accident. She was not going to go down easily, and she didn't. Although Eric did not give a motive, he said that he and Lily went out drinking that night and went to a Halloween party. He got wasted, and Lily didn't want to deal with his drunk ass, so she ditched him and went to her parents. This is when he went to the girl's house and he smoked a couple cigarettes thinking, and then he says he completely blacked out. He has no recollection of killing the girls, but knows that he is the one that did it. And after leaving the house, he went home. He burned all his clothes in a fire pit in his front yard, and then he went to sleep and never talked about it again until he heard on the news that they were closing in on him, and that is when he decided to kill himself. So he wrote 2 suicide notes to his parents saying he was going to end his life and that it wasn't suicide, it was justice, so the courts didn't get to kill him first. His family then convinced him to turn himself in instead of suicide and take a plea deal, which is what he did.
Oh, I like his family. They're not those bad kinds that say, like, don't worry, son.
Oh, the
We'll
Gabby
give you
Petito
$1
guys?
million and send you off so you can
Yeah.
run away and
I know.
kill somebody else and not be accountable.
I know. So Eric took a plea deal for the death penalty to be taken off the table, which it's like, dude, you're in California. You're not getting a death penalty anyways.
Yeah.
And he pled guilty and he got life in prison. At his sentencing, they allowed the family to speak, and Adriane's mom, of course, was devastated. I mean, she went to his freaking wedding, for goodness sakes. She trusted him and she trusted them, him and Lily, as a couple, and she was heartbroken. But she told him she would never think of him again, and she would just hold Adriane's name in her honor, and that's the only person that she would think about again. Lily, whom they questioned extensively and deemed that she was just a deer in the headlights, meaning she knew nothing about her husband's guilt, also asked to speak. And here is what she has to say.
I'm Lily Koppel, Eric's wife. My heart goes out to both Arlene and Kathy, and to the rest of their families and friends. I wish with all my heart these events had been avoided. Eric, there is nothing in this world that you could do to make me love you less. I can say without hesitation that the man who committed this crime is not present in the person or mind of my husband today. We still bear the scars of losing Adriane and Leslie in such a horrifying way. Now we must also endure the pain of watching a much-loved and very admirable man spend the rest of his life behind bars.
It was definitely a dagger in the hearts of Leslie and Adriane's parents. And then Eric spoke. And this is what Eric has to say.
I am a broken man. A man splintered by a penetrating awareness of my own potential for wickedness. While I cannot fathom the full extent of the anguish I have caused, I recognize that my sinful deeds have inflicted terrific agony on a great number of people. The words evade me to articulate the depths of my sorrow.
And that is the Halloween case from Napa.